Okay? And then the contrast of by the moon that follows it, and by the day that it brightens up, and by the night that covers it up, by the sky that he designed, and by the earth that he leveled out. Okay? All these are opposites in many ways. These are opposites. And Allah says, well, in very similar way, what is good and bad? Two opposites as well. Okay? Fujur and taqwa, they are two opposites. Taqwa is really, what is taqwa? One of the best ways of defining taqwa is perhaps like this. It's pious manners and behavior. Pious manners and behaviors that come from a mindful understanding of the rules and the regulations the Lord has given us. Okay? And being prepared to follow those. And also to follow the social and the moral values that Allah has taught us. That in a nutshell is actually what taqwa is. It's an amazing concept of purity, of goodness. So, here, after taking all these qasams, what is the claim? The claim is فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. जो दावा अल्लाह कर रहे हैं ना, अल्लाह का दावा क्या है? दावा ये है فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. ये 7 कस्में खाने के बाद our claim and दावा ये है, हमने उसको इल्हाम किया है कि फुजूर क्या है और नेकी और परहेज़गारी क्या है. We have inspired him. We have inspired him. Not that we will inspire him. We have indeed inspired him. He knows it is inbuilt in him. He can see what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. He's not blind to it. We made him open to it. We've given him that ability. فَأَلْحَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا. That is the claim. فَأَلْحَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. And then Allah says, مَنْ قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. And he who has purified and kept it clean, that clean conscience that I gave him, whoever keeps that clean, okay, we gave him that. But what happens through his age, through his society, through time, and through company, and through his own learning, and throughout his own behavior and his attitude, what does he do? He makes it filthy. He makes it opaque. He makes it muddy and hazy. That's him. He does it himself. Now, in many ways, this is a very empowering verse. It's also teaching us that, we shouldn't be fatalistic. Okay? Taqdeer. Asa kya kar sakne? Taqdeer da mamla hai na. No, it's not taqdeer da mamla hai na. That's, that is putting, blame on Allah. Allah says, we have given you this ability. You know what is right and what is wrong. You know what is good and what is bad. Okay? You know that. You are now trying to fool yourself. And this is what deception is. You're trying to deceive yourself. Okay? Don't do that. Wake up to the reality. فَأَلْحَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Whoever is able to keep this nafs of his clean and pure, what happens to him? He's successful. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. But he who lets it, who spoils it, he is khaba. Dassa is filth, dirt, muck. Who lets it get mucky, okay? Filthy, dirty, and hazy, khaba. Khaba means like khaba and khasir, the loser. He becomes a loser there, no? So, here is a very powerful message. But if you didn't understand it, Allah says, come on, I'll show you what I mean. Then Allah says, كَذَّبَتْ ثَمُودُ بِطَغْوَاهَا إِذِ انبَعَثَ أَشْقَاهَا فَقَالَ لَهُمْ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ نَاقَةَ اللَّهِ وَسُقْيَاهَا. All right, if you haven't understood, let me give you an example. Allah says, do you remember those people of Samud? Those arrogant and tyrant people? Well, we sent to them a great miracle, the miracle of the she-camel. They saw the she-camel coming out of the rocks, okay? They saw this she-camel drinking their whole well, okay? And what did they do? Rather than respecting this sign of Allah and therefore believing and accepting the mu'jiza of the Prophet and saying, we believe, what did they do? إِذِ انبَعَثَ أَشْقَاهَا. They sent one of their most wretched person to hamstring it, to kill that she-camel. And that is what he did. Okay? So what? Yeah? You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us. Then what happened? فَضَمْدَمَ عَلَيْهِمْ رَبُّهُمْ بِذَنْبِهَا فَسَوَّاهَا وَلَا يَخَافُ عُقْبَاهَا. Okay. Consequently, they were destroyed. Okay? وَلَا يَخَافُ عُقْبَاهَا. He had no fear of the consequences. He didn't bother about what would happen if he upset the Lord, if he broke this covenant that they had made that they would accept after seeing a miracle. They didn't. Okay? He wasn't bothered about it. So I hope after mentioning this, that we have given you the ability to recognize right and wrong. Allah illustrates it with an example of the people of Samud, the people of, who was their prophet? Salih alayhi salam. Okay? And why Samud, Jan? Well, Samud were the people who lived in the city of Petra, which is in South Jordan. It's actually these people were very expert in carving out their homes in the rocks. So they were masoners, and they could actually carve their homes into the rock. And today, people go and actually visit Petra because of its historic ruins of this city. And it was called Homera, the Rose City. And these Quraysh used to go past it when they went on their journeys to Sham, so they knew about it. So this is why this is particularly mentioned, because they were familiar with it. I hope you can see how simply the Quran illustrates reality and fact. Okay? In Surah Ash-Shams, the way the Quran takes those oaths and then gives and makes this wonderful claim that, look, you all have the ability to recognize the truth and to acquire that beautiful taqwa, fear of God, and avoid evil. And then gives an example to illustrate it by giving the example of the people of Samud. Look, they disobeyed. What happened to them? Here Allah doesn't say to the Quraysh, we're going to sort you out. Allah doesn't say anything of this kind. This is actually a very early Makkan surah where there isn't that harshness. He just presents it here. Now you, come on, think about it. What could happen? This is the miracle and the mu'jiza of the Quran. I hope you can begin to see the author isn't Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The author is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the great master, the great creator of this wonderful universe. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.